Of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
You know, the high-end real estate market can just be so blah after a while. There's only so many palatial mansions, multi-acred swimming pools, and 300-foot yachts you can see before it all starts to blur together.
This is Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and I'm Robin Leach.
Well, if your goal is to mostly make a statement to your other rich friends, as it frequently is, you're just working in the same medium as they are. What's another big house when everyone you know owns a big house? Well, making your fellow moneyed elites jealous could require taking the plunge and going full Bond villain on this one. How about buying your own private island? After all, nothing says I'm too rich to bother caring what anyone else thinks anymore, like owning your own patch of land surrounded by water, enough water to keep out all the riffraff. But before you start opening up nautical charts to narrow your options, I'm looking at a website with 19 private islands that I can buy right now. Yeah, I know. Your eyes are rolling in the back of your head.
What the hell is that?
Well, no, that's, you know what that is? That's from hanging around all my real estate friends. I'm just like, no. And that kind of thing catches my eye. Not that I can afford it, mind you.
Squirrel.
Not that I can even afford to go and visit to see if I could afford it. No.
You don't have any kids in college anymore, do you?
Well, no.
There you go.
You mean I'm rich and I could be famous?
Well, you could take a vacation once in a while.
Oh, well, there is that.
They always have that vacation rental by owner thing, too.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is JPEG Luca. Pete Coles behind the other side of the board there.
Sometimes the host tells you where he's going in his monologue, and sometimes he doesn't.
Isn't it much more fun when you don't know where you're going?
Not really.
Good morning, Westfield, Greater Westfield, and all of, well, worldwide on WSKB.org.
Okay, if you say so.
Why? I saw you looking back at the rack. Are we not worldwide?
No, I was rolling my eyes at the camera.
Oh, okay. Well, a little closer to home.
Occasionally, I just go out of character and I look into the camera and go, I got nothing.
No, just that's a Jack Benny line. Is you look at the camera and you just go, well, Speaking of Jack Benny, we're probably going to find something along those lines a little bit later on in JP's Golden Age of Radio. We'll be picking that up at the bottom of the hour, and at the top of the hour, we have a musical treat. Matthew Bussell will be here, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Matthew is a school-aged youngster here in town with just one incredible voice, and we have some music queued up. We may pick one of those to play in the next little bit of time here to give you a tease of what you're in for. Not that we're not going to ask him to sing in studio. We didn't bring the orchestra or anything like that. But man, this kid is on his way to Broadway music, like I've never heard at that age. This is going to be a lot of fun. You may have heard his sister Julia, who is also a singer. Did she graduate high school this year?
No, last year. She's in college.
Last year she did. Okay. So his sister Julia has sung here on the radio before, and was a frequent guest at the pancake breakfast, the chamber pancake breakfast.
That's true.
In the past. So
and their middle brother Scotty is a talented hockey player, and he's going to college for hockey. So he didn't get the musical genes. He got the athletics.
I didn't get music or athletic. My dad was a football player. My mom was a concert pianist. Me, yeah.
I tried playing football. I played freshman football, and then I found out that I could make money videotaping and filming it. So I stopped playing football.
And you didn't have to run up and down the big field.
Right, and I was making, and in 1985, I took over for Steve Carey. In 85, I was making $40 a game. That was big bucks back then. Gas was $1 a gallon.
In 85, really?
Yeah.
Well, all right. I remember in the 60s, I remember 29 cents a gallon. God.
Yeah, well, gas was $1 a gallon when I was driving.
Am I dating myself?
So that was big ching for me. That was like, and I did every game, so it wasn't just like home games.
Right.
I was on the road with the team and everything. So
when I got my license, it was the gas crisis of the 70s. Everybody's in line to get $2 worth of gas. that
was 10 gallons of gas, though.
That was no, not then. But anyway, but I digress.
That's okay. That's what we do.
We seem to do that, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Matt Bussell will be here. I believe at 7 o'clock he'll be wandering into the studio. So we'll be talking to him then about his adventures and where he thinks he's going. Yeah, he was just recently back from Texas, so we'll talk about that too.
Yep.
And that had to do with the Boys and Girls Club, and of course Bill Parks, who runs the Boys and Girls Club here in the city of Westfield. What a great organization that is. We have a lot of great organizations.
Yesterday's Superintendent Spotlight had on Bo Sullivan.
And Bo was helping out over there an awful lot lately.
It was supposed to be Bo and Bill, but the superintendent books about a month out, so they kind of fell off their calendar.
Oh.
So Bo, we're all texting Bo, hey, well, Bo, where are you?
I'll have to pick on them about that a little bit. But
no, you know what? Bo still showed up, so we'll give him credit for that.
Okay, all right. But but that doesn't mean I can't go give Bill grief though. It's hey, that's all right.
Bill works his butt off.
Yeah. There's some wonderful organizations here in town. Of course, Boys and Girls Club is one of them. The Westfield on Weekends crew is working hard for their upcoming concert. It's happening next Thursday, the 20th, on the Green. That's going to be a Allman Brothers band called Hittin' the Note. That'll be happening next Thursday, a free concert on the Green in downtown Westfield. Kicks off at 7 o'clock, I believe.
I'm kind of bummed about that because I'm going to miss that one.
Well, you got to stop going away and booking other things.
No, this is going to see my son graduate from boot camp.
It's a good alternative thing.
That's a legit one, yeah.
Yeah. This is a busy time of year for everyone, and I get that. This summer is going to be busy for music because not only is Westfield on Weekends doing their concerts on the Green the third Thursday of June, July, and August, but
the White Lion series kicked off last night.
It did, and that's happening over in the little space between George's Jewelers and Mina's Wine and Spirits. I have not heard much feedback on that yet, but I'm sure it was good. Friday, and that's going to be happening. Is it every Thursday?
No, that's monthly. I think that's a monthly one. But then Artworks is going to do theirs in between at the same space.
They're going to be doing the same space on Friday nights,
right?
And then Tuesday Open Mics is back out on the Green.
In the pavilion?
Around the pavilion or something. It's going to be around there.
Yep.
So that has grown to be a ton of fun. It really has. And
did that go on hiatus last year?
I think it was kind of intermittent.
Yeah, okay.
Because the people that get involved in these things tend to they get noticed and drawn into many, many other things. And all of a sudden they realized, wow, I'm like real busy.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's one of the things that's happened to me. I love doing the concerts on the Green, but pass that torch to Tom Sawyer, Jerry Tomasco, and Ed Orgill. They're organizing that this year, and that's hats off to them. I know it's a lot of work, and they've really pulled this together.
Because you picked up another project, so...
Well, that's that's next winter.
That's incubating, yeah.
That's something we'll talk about in a minute. But last night I had a chance to visit with the folks at Artworks. They were just kind of having a little brainstorm session last night, and Bill Westerland and some of the core people from Artworks were there. And they were looking for input from everyone, looking for volunteers. If as Westfield on Weekends is, if you'd like to volunteer for either of those organizations, go to their respective websites or search it out on Facebook and drop them a note. They're really organizations like that always are looking for an extra set of hands, even if it's just to come to the event, see what we do, and see if there's something that kind of attracts your interest. What are you good at? Maybe your thing is being a roadie, setting up and taking down. It depends. Maybe it is sitting behind a merchandise table or organizing all of the vendors that are going to be around the space. All of those things, every little bit helps, and it can get overwhelming for the few that are leading such an organization. But those leaders, the job gets very easy when they have extra hands. So please reach out and help them out if you can, and just raise your hand. Say, hey, I'm so and so. I'd like to help.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be much, and maybe it just, hey, let me watch and see what you're doing. I know we talked last night about the need for someone to help manage their Facebook, and I found the same thing. I can build a website. I can probably maintain that, but Facebook, I still haven't figured that out yet.
Kenny's a little busy.
And wait a minute, what's this Tweeter thingy? Tweety Pie? What?
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter.
There's an app where you can post on all those services at once. If you make a small investment, and it's probably for an organization like that, it's probably worth it because you blast all the social media one shot.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to get the word out, and social media seems to be the number one thing right now.
It is.
What's the 20-something crowd into? Instagram now. I haven't even looked there.
Instagram, Twitch.
Twitch?
What's the new one?
The heck is Twitch?
There's what's the other one?
Somebody that used to work for Twitter. I don't know.
No, I know what Twitch is. It's some short videos.
Oh, okay.
And you could do live streaming and things like that.
It's amazing what the high speed internet has done and enabled.
VSCO, which was a picture sharing thing for a while.
How many of us can remember what it was like to converse with friends before the internet? You had to pick up the phone. Or
I remember what it was like. It was a lot easier back then.
Well, see,
life was a lot less complicated.
When it was me, it was 2 tin cans and a piece of string.
You had rotary phones, don't lie.
Well, yeah, but they looked like the little candlestick phones. This is JPEG Luca. That's Pete Coles. He's on the other side of the board, as he is almost every morning here in the studio at WSKB. Around the corner, we have JP's Golden Age of Radio.
I have an episode.
And you have an episode. What's it entitled?
Will television replace radio?
How appropriate is that?
Yes.
All right, that'll be a little fun. Look forward to that at the bottom of the hour. We'll be back right after this.
She's calling my name. Catfish are jumping, that paddle wheel bumping. Black water keep rolling on fast, just the same. Oh, black water keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Yeah, keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything great. Mama gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry. Difference to me. Just take that streetcar that's going uptown. Yeah, I like to hear some funky Dixieland and dance a honky tonk. And I'll be buying everybody drinks all around. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry at all. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. Come on, baby. Take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts, providing new handcrafted espresso drinks and all-day breakfast sandwiches. There's more to love with DD Perks, a loyalty program that's loyal to you. On the web at DunkinDonuts.com and at several locations throughout Westfield, including the Ely Campus Center.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
I just got an email from someone that I work with thanking me and calling me a true gentleman. I think he's listening to too much propaganda. I really do.
Does he know you?
Yeah, I have to double check. Maybe this is one of those guys that doesn't really know me. Nah, he can't. No. Good morning, everyone. This is JP Luca. Pete Cole's on the other side of the board. This is JP's Golden Age of Radio just ahead. We have a little bit of Jack Benny coming up for you. I hope you enjoy it. At the top of the hour, we have Matthew Bassell coming in here. He's an up-and-coming star in the world of music. I guess I can call him that. I've heard him live. I've got some of the recordings that have been sent my way from various points. He's just amazing. He's an amazing singer. I think you'll enjoy listening to him and talking about his recent adventures. And we have a little bit of music. In fact, do you have that? He sang the national anthem for something, right, Pete?
Yeah, I'm trying to transfer from my other machine, though.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll hang on to that. We'll see if we can save that for the top of the hour.
Yeah.
And then that'll be kind of cool. We'll run that. So let's jump into a little bit of Jack Benny right after this break. JP's Golden Age of Radio. We'll be back right after this.
Give me a piece of mind.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Oh, yeah, we're on the air. Good morning, everyone. JPEG Luca, Pete Coles on the other side of the board. This is JP's Talk About Town. Glad you joined us this morning. Straight ahead, we have some Jack Benny on JP's Golden Age of Radio, and right after that, Matthew Bussell will be visiting us in studio. So stand by for that. We'll be back right after this.
What? You're going to intro Jack Benny.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Benny. I already did that.
No, we ran the break because you wanted to run the break.
I don't need to introduce Jack Benny because he has his own announcer that announces Jack Benny. So
usually you introduce the Golden Age of Radio segment, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, JP's Golden Age of Radio.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. Yes, let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. And that's because LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco that gives you smoothness and mildness. And no wonder, for years, Lucky Strike has maintained America's largest and most complete cigarette research laboratory. Prior to the auctions, the buyers for Lucky Strike send sample leaves from all tobacco growing areas to this great laboratory for scientific analysis, to help determine which tobaccos are really fine. And this is only one phase of the constant research that helps make possible Lucky Strike's unconditional guarantee. Check the cigarette you're now smoking. Among all leading brands, only the makers of Lucky Strike put an unconditional guarantee on the pack. So smoke a Lucky. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw. Make your next carton Lucky Strike. From New York City, the Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our second week in New York. So let's go out to the Acme Plaza Hotel where Jack is staying. Our little star is still in bed.
Boss, wake up. Mr. Benny, wake up.
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Yes, boss, it's time to get up. Come on, open your baby blue eyes and look at me.
There.
Now, here's your teeth. Smile at me.
I'm smiling. What time is it?
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't the sun shine today?
I don't know. This room hasn't got a window.
What do you mean it hasn't got a window? Raise the shade. There, what's that?
A picture of Central Park by Grandma Moses.
Well, you could have fooled me. Yesterday, when I lifted the shade, I could have sworn it was snowing.
That was the plaster falling off the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, look at the way it drifted up against the baseboard.
What a hotel.
Rochester, you can stop laughing. This is a very nice...
Hey, Bendy, you want it on the phone.
Huh?
You want it on the phone.
Hand me my robe, Rochester.
Here you are.
Okay, I'm coming. Where's the phone?
Right down the hall. And while you're talking, don't go tampering with the coin box.
I won't. Yeah, wonder who could be... Oh, here's the phone on the wall. Hello?
Hiya, Jackson. It's about time you answered.
Oh, hello, Phil. Did you have any trouble getting this hotel?
No, I just dialed BO7236 and the Nairwick answered.
Now, cut that out. What'd you call for, anyway?
Well, look, we'll soon be going back to California, and I wanted to know if it's all right with you if Alice and I stopped off at Niagara Falls for a few days. You know, that's the place to go for a honeymoon.
Phil, you and Alice were married 8 years ago. Didn't you go on a honeymoon then?
Yeah, but this time we'd like to go without Remley.
Phil, you took Remley on your honeymoon?
Didn't know it till we got there. Somebody tied him to the back of the car.
Oh, well, that could happen to anybody.
Yeah. Hey, Jackson, I got to tell you about a funny coincidence. Yesterday, Alice and I were walking down the street talking about a second honeymoon, and we ran right into the man that married us.
Who was that?
Petrillo.
Petrillo? How could Petrillo officiate at your wedding?
Why not? My dues was paid up.
Oh, I see.
Well, look, I got to hang up now, Dad. I got a lot of things to do tonight. I'm going to see South Pacific.
South Pacific? You're going to see South Pacific?
Yeah.
Gee, how I envy you. I pulled all kinds of strings to see that show. I couldn't even get one ticket.
Really?
I tried everything.
Have you tried money?
Yeah, I even washed Mary Martin's hair. Now, Phil, if you're stopping off at Niagara Falls, will you be back in Hollywood in time for my next Sunday's program?
Sure, I'll be there, Jackson. You know I love you.
Huh?
Your option is coming up. I wouldn't let you down.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Maestro. Goodbye.
So long, Clyde.
So long. Bye-bye, baby. Da-da-dum-da-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum.
Who was it, boss?
Mr. Harris. Well, I better get dressed now. Miss Livingston said that she might... There's that dog in the next room barking again. Kept me awake half the night. I got a good mind to complain to his owner.
His owner lives at the Sherry Netherlands.
The Sherry Netherlands?
He only took a room here for his dog.
Fine thing. Imagine them putting a Cocker Spaniel in the next room.
They tried to give him this one, but he wanted a window.
Afforded, why not? Rochester, hand me my tie, will you?
Here you are, boss.
Come in. Well, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hello, Rochester.
Hello, Miss Livingston.
Yeah, don't be late there, Roger.
Hi, Miss Livingston.
You know, Mary, when you said you might... Can't wait till he goes to the races. You know, Mary, when you said you'd come right over to this hotel, I wasn't sure that you would.
Well, I have a confession to make. I only came out here out of curiosity.
Oh.
And, Jack, this Acme Plaza certainly is different.
What do you mean, different?
Well, I walked into the lobby. I asked the clerk for your room, and he said it was 6 floors down.
All right, so you had to take the elevator.
Some elevator. They lowered me in a bucket.
Mary.
They got a picture of John L. Lewis in the lobby.
Mary.
And the bellboys are on a 3-day week.
Oh, stop. Be happy you found the place. Did you have any trouble?
No, I was lucky. I got in a cab and said, "Driver, do you know where the Acme Plaza is?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am, I used to live there when I was out of work."
Now I know you just made that up.
No, I didn't, Dad. Say, have you got your program all set for Sunday?
Most of it, Mary, but I don't know what to do about a commercial. The Sportsman Quartet didn't come to New York.
Boss, you mentioned that yesterday, so I took the liberty to ask some friends of mine to come down and audition for you.
Oh, thanks, Rochester. And you know, Mary, I thought that on the opening of the show, I might play my violin. I haven't done that yet in New York.
Oh, Jack, nobody wants to hear you play Love and Bloom.
Mary, I've learned a new one, Some Enchanted Evening. Wait till I get my violin and I'll play it for you.
Here it is, boss.
Thanks. Oh, Mary, this will be swell now.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait till you hear this. How do you like that? Hey, listen. There's another violinist in this hotel.
That's the dog. He's playing at the Palace this week.
No kidding.
He used to be with the Met, but he had trouble with Rudolph Bing.
Oh, yes, I read about that. Anyway, Mary, I'm going to play my violin in the program. It'll be very good.
Okay, Jack, okay. Now, how about going out and get something to eat?
We don't have to go out. We can eat right here.
Jack, you mean you want to eat here in this room?
Certainly. Rochester, get room service.
Yes, sir. I'll put a note in the bucket and tell him to lower a waiter.
Stop being funny. I don't care how you do it.
Jack, there's so many nice restaurants in town. Why don't we go out?
Mary, they have very fine food here. There's nothing wrong with this hotel. Maybe a little out of the way. What was that?
Well, hello, Jack. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Don.
Don, I didn't expect to see you. How'd you know where I live?
Well, I didn't. I was walking along the street and fell down an open manhole. Gosh, what a beautiful view of Central Park. Ouch!
Don, what happened?
I tried to stick my head out the window.
Look, Jack, it's snowing.
Yeah. Oh, that must be the waiter now. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Rochester told us to drop by. He said you were looking for a singing group.
Oh, yes. Come on in, fellas. It was nice of you boys to come over. What do you call yourselves?
The Ink Spots.
The Ink Spots. Well, boys, I'm glad you're here. Rochester told me you had an idea for a number that could be used on my program.
Yes, sir. We took our theme song and made a special arrangement just for you.
Oh, how nice. Could I hear it now?
Yes, sir.
Well, sit down, Mary, Don. Come on, fellas, let's have it.
If I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care, would I feel this way? If this isn't love, then why do I thrill? And what makes my head go round and round while my heart stands still? If I didn't care, would it be the same? Would my every prayer begin and end with just your name? And would I be sure that this is love beyond compare? Would all this be true if I didn't care for you?
Honey child, if I didn't care, If I didn't care what I smoked, baby, I'd smoke any kind of a cigarette. But I do care, honey child. That's why I always smoke Lucky Strike. I smoke Lucky's because they're so round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw. And another thing, baby, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky. Lucky Strike. LSMFT. Want a cigarette? LSMFT, the very best that you can get.
Of one thing I'm sure, that they're fine beyond compare. Then this must be true. Lucky's are the smoke for you.
Quality of product is essential to success.
That was really wonderful, boys. Absolutely wonderful. And rehearsal is tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, Mr. Benny. We'll be there. Goodbye.
So long. You know, Don, the ink spots are going to be great.
They sure will, Jack. What else have you planned for the show?
Well, as I was telling Mary, I think that I ought... Oh, that must be the waiter. Come in.
Room service.
Oh, yes. Come in, waiter. Mary, what do you want to eat?
Oh, I don't know. Waiter, let me see that menu.
Here you are, kid.
Mary, let me look at it. Now, let's see. Beef stew, wieners and sauerkraut, goulash, spaghetti and meatballs, porterhouse steak. Say, that's reasonable for a porterhouse.
That's the old price. We had to raise it.
Oh. How much is it now?
45 cents.
Wow.
Jack.
Huh?
Can't we go somewhere else?
Don't worry about it, Mary. The food is fine here.
Oh, all right. Waiter, have you any lamb chops?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have that, too.
Waiter, we'll all have lamb chops.
Yes, sir. Would you mind saving the bones for the guests in the next room?
What?
He always likes something to eat after his last show.
Never mind, waiter. Go get the food.
Oh, say, Jack, you started to tell me something about the program.
Oh, yes, Don. Now, look at. Well, I was planning to play my violin. And then after the commercial, I thought we would do Allen's Alley.
Allen's Alley?
Yes, Mary, look. You see, Fred Allen has been off the air for nearly a year, and as long as we're here in New York, I thought it'd be a nice touch to bring back those wonderful people who lived in Allen's Alley.
Oh, that's a swell idea, Jack.
I'm glad you like it, Don, because I've already hired Kenny Delmar, Parker Fenley, Peter Donald.
Well, who's going to play the part of Fred Allen?
I am, Mary, and you'll be Portland.
But, Jack, do you think we can play those parts?
Certainly, Mary. Look, here's exactly how it'll go on the program. Now, first, I'll put a clothespin on my nose like this. Now, wait till I fix it here on the nose.
I have to sound like... Wait a minute. And then you say...
Oh, Mr. Allen! Mr. Allen!
Well, Portland, gee... Well...
Portland. I see you're reading the newspaper. What's new?
Well, here's an interesting item in the personal column.
A personal ad? Read it to me.
Here it is. 2 handsome young men with sniffles would like to meet 2 attractive young ladies with fever. Object to share 4-way cold tablets.
Gad, what romance. Come on, Portland, let's go down to Allen's Alley.
And what is your question tonight?
My question tonight is, do you think television will replace radio?
Shall we go?
As the man said when he stepped on his bathroom scales, I'm on my way. Well, things look kind of quiet here in Allen's Alley, but I think Senator Claghorn is home. I can smell the aroma of poached possum. I'll knock on his door.
Somebody say somebody pizzicatoed my pie.
Yes, Senator.
Speak up. Don't stand there spinning your pivot tooth. It makes me dizzy.
Well, Senator,
Get to the point, son. I'm busier than a bubble dancer with a slow leak.
All right, Senator, but
Make it fast, son. I'm packing. Leaving for Florida, that is.
Oh, is this your first trip?
Son, I spent so much time down in Florida, people think I'm Mayor O'Dwyer. That's a joke, son.
I know.
Well, you ain't laughing when you hear a joke. You're supposed to yuck it up.
All right. Now, look, Senator, I have a question I'd like to ask you. Do you think television will ever replace radio?
Well, I don't know about that, son, but I do know that television will play a big part in the next presidential election.
What do you mean, Senator?
Well, now, there won't be any campaign speeches in 1952. For the Democrats, Margaret will sing, and little old Harry will play the piano.
I see.
Yeah, and the Republicans... The Republicans, they're going to make a song and dance team out of Taft and Hartley.
Well, Senator, if television will play such a big part, who do you think will win the next election?
Milton Berle. So long, son. So long.
The Senator is a windy one. I'll pick up my hat and go next door. I wonder if Titus Moody is in.
Howdy, Bob.
Say, Titus. Say, Titus, what's the matter? You look like you've been crying.
All night long.
Crying all through the night? What's wrong?
Oh, my friend Lem Hawkins. He up and died.
Oh, that's a shame. When did Lem die?
Last spring.
Wait a minute, Mr. Moody. How come you're crying now if Lem went last spring?
He died during the planting season. I was too busy then.
How old was Lem?
97.
Died of old age, eh?
No. It was an accident.
An accident?
Yeah. He worked over at the maple syrup factory.
Yes?
One day he slipped, fell into a vat of maple syrup, sweetened himself to death.
No.
Yep. That was last spring. They're still fighting the ants off his grave.
Moody, enough about the saccharine Mr. Hawkins. I'd like to ask you a question.
Make it fast, Bub. I got to go slop the hogs.
Mr. Moody, do you think television will replace radio?
Why, no. The farmers, they'll never go for television.
Why not?
Well, sir, I bought a television set myself, put it in the hen house to step up egg production.
And did it work?
Well, first I tuned in the wrestling matches for them. That didn't do any good.
It didn't?
No. When Gorgeous George come on, the hens would just sit there and pant.
Uh-huh.
Then I tuned in Faye Emerson.
Yes?
I just set the hen pen.
I see.
Finally, I found the program that made the hens lay eggs. Hop along, Cassidy.
How did Hoppy make those hens produce?
Well, sir, every time Hoppy shot his gun, they'd lay an egg.
No.
Yep. It was a pleasure to watch Hoppy in a six-reeler. Him a-shooting and them a-laying.
So now you're prosperous.
Well, no. I would have been, but in one picture, Hoppy double-crossed me.
Hoppy double-crossed you? How?
Why, he pulled out a machine gun. All my hens dropped dead trying.
Well, I wonder who I'll find in this next house. Well, Jack Cassidy.
Sure, it's good to see you again.
The same to you, Ajax. But wait, you have a black eye.
I have, me boy. It is a badge of honor I acquired last night during a fracas at Kerrigan's Cozy Corner.
You mean you were in a fight? Tell me what happened.
I will. Last night, you see, I entered Kerrigan's Cozy Corner. A peaceful man, with nothing on me mind but the delights of a tall foaming glass of beer.
Yes?
So I ordered me beer, you see. And over comes Kerrigan and questions me credit.
I see.
Well, when Kerrigan cast aspersions on me credit, we exchanged a few words. Then we exchanged a few blows. And Kerrigan started hitting me over the head with a bottle of Four Roses.
And what happened next?
He switched to Calvert.
Well, Ajax, the question I'd like to ask you tonight is, do you think television will replace radio?
Well, now, me boy, that's a hard question to answer. You see, in my house, we have both a television set and a radio.
I see. And what do you listen to most?
My wife. Goodbye, you boy.
That brings us to the last little house in Allen's Alley. I wonder who we'll find here.
Hello, Mr. Allen.
Why, Mr. Kitzel! Tell me, Mr. Kitzel, what are you doing here in New York?
Well, Mr. Allen, last week in Hollywood, I was walking down Sunset Boulevard, and as I passed a radio station, a man with a hook dragged me into a quiz program.
A quiz program?
Yeah, they asked me questions, I gave them answers, and the next thing I know, I'm spending 2 glorious weeks in the Bronx.
Well, that's wonderful. Tell me, Mr. Kitzel, are you having a good time?
Mr. Allen, every night a different show.
Really? What shows have you seen since you've been here?
Oh, I saw The Rat Race, Death of a Salesman, Miss Liberty, and last night I saw Max's Little Darling.
You mean Texas, Little Darling?
No, Max's Little Darling. I had dinner with my brother Max's wife.
Oh.
Some little darling. She weighs 240 pounds.
240 pounds?
On the present rate of exchange.
Well, getting back to the original question, I'd like to ask your honest opinion. Do you think television will replace radio?
For this, I'm in no position to venture an opinion.
You're not, eh?
No. I'll admit that I didn't rush out to buy one. Being very practical, I listened first to what people were saying about it, whether they were making them good enough, and whether it was worth the investment. And after debating to myself pro and con, I finally decided it was here to stay, so last week I went out and bought one.
A television set?
No, a radio.
And what a display of confidence. Well, that's all I wanted to know. Goodbye, Mr. Kitzel.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
What?
With those blue eyes, you didn't fool me for 1 second.
Well, thank you. So you see, Mary, it'll be a cinch to do Alan's Alley on the program.
Back in a moment, but first, let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. And that's because LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Listen to what Mr. B.V. Boyne, an independent tobacco buyer from Timminsville, South Carolina, recently said.
At the markets I've worked as a buyer, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine, light, ripe tobacco that makes a smooth, mild smoke. For 22 years now, I've smoked Lucky's regularly.
Millions of smokers, including the famous Shakespearean actor Maurice Evans, take a tip from the experts and smoke Lucky Strike. Just recently, the popular Mr. Evans said, "I like Lucky's better than any other cigarette I've ever smoked." For your own real deep-down smoking enjoyment, light up a Lucky. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. Get a carton today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say we've had a very pleasant 2 weeks here in New York, and next week we'll be broadcasting again from Hollywood, California. Good night, everybody.
Be sure to hear Dennis Day and the Damn Life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned for the Amos and Andy Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years. Specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
And this is JPEG Luca with JP's Talk About Town. That JP's Golden Age of Radio segment, you may have recognized some of those voices in the Jack Benny program.
Awfully lot in there.
A regular visitor was a voice actor that you may recognize from many different parts he played. Early on in the segment, the waiter. Then Senator Claghorn, which probably was the most familiar characterization that was there. Mr. Moody, the old man, towards the end of that. All those voices were played by a voice actor by the name of Mel Blanc. And where do we know that voice from? Mel Blanc was the voice of just about every character in the old 50s and 60s cartoons from Warner Brothers. All the Bugs Bunny shows and Sylvester the Cat. Of course, Senator Claghorn was really the beginnings of the rooster, Foghorn Leghorn, in all of those wonderful classic radio or television shorts. Well, they weren't television. They were made for they were made to be played in theater, and it was really television that just exploded and made them common to everyone's household growing up, or at least my childhood anyway.
I watched it.
Yeah. Coming up.
If you're going to talk, you need to talk into the microphone. This is radio, you know.
In the microphone.
Bring the microphone right down.
We have a couple of guests here.
Bring it right up close. Yep.
That we will introduce to you right after this. And his singing of the national anthems, both the U.S. and Canada, at Amelia Park. When was that? Do we know?
A couple of weeks ago?
Just a couple of weeks ago?
I know it was.
About
I think
a month?
it was like a month.
Yeah, about a month ago.
A month and a few weeks.
So, Matthew, how did you find out you loved singing?
Well, I always liked, theatrical music since I was at a young age because my mom always loved that type of music, so we'd listen to it all the time, and I'd sing in the car. And then I kind of, at first I wasn't that good, but then it just came, that sounds, then it just came to me, and then I started to sing.
And you've kind of been leaning towards Broadway. That was the last thing I heard, a show song. What was the first one you ever sang?
Well, I ever sang for an audition.
Yeah.
Well, then it was What If from the Addams Family.
Really?
I sang that for my first audition for Mary Poppins.
So have you been in shows?
Yes, I've done many shows. My first show was Mary Poppins, and I played Michael Banks.
Ah.
And now, actually, a few shows later, I'm playing Michael Banks again, and another performance of Mary Poppins.
And where are you playing that?
Exit 7 Theater in Ludlow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know the run dates of the show?
No.
I do, but it'll take me a minute to get
we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, recently I heard that you're part of the Boys and Girls Club, and are you part of the music program there?
Yes, I'm part of the drama club there.
Okay. And you were chosen, I understand, to sing at some bigger function within the Boys and Girls Club organization. Can you tell me a little about that?
So, last July or sometime around that, my the person who runs the drama club and all the cultural enrichment program asked me if she could send in a video of me singing to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and that's where the Boys and Girls Clubs of America have so many people sending in their talent. So then they pick 10 performances out of thousands and thousands of people across America, and those people get chosen to perform at their national conference.
And where's that?
Well, every year it changes, but for when I went, it was in Houston, Texas.
That's so cool.
It really was cool.
Now, how did you find out about that? How did you find out that you won?
Well, it's a funny story. So I was at the Boys and Girls Club to meet with Bill Parks, who runs the Boys and Girls Club in Westfield, because he asked me to come down so he could congratulate me because I had won the talent show last week, because he wasn't there. And so, yeah, we were talking about that and stuff, and he asked me a few questions about the club, and then they had a really special phone call, and it was
a setup.
It was a setup.
I knew about it because we were meeting in the second room, that other room for the parade.
I knew about it.
I was like, why is everybody here so late?
Yeah.
Bo goes,
but no one told you.
No one told me. So then they get a call from Jim Clark, who runs all the Boys and Girls Clubs across America. And so I don't know what's happening. I'm just sitting in my chair, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just wait. And then he says, is Matthew there with you? And I'm like,
how does he know I'm here?
And then he congratulated me for my talent and stuff, and he has seen videos of me singing. And then he asked me, would you like to go to Houston? He asked me, have you ever been to Houston, Texas? And I said no, because I had never gone. And he asked me if I liked to go, and I looked over at my mom, and I said, can I go?
Everybody told that story because they thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
I'm assuming Mom said yes.
Yeah.
Said yes.
That's a great story. So how was the trip?
It was awesome.
Is that the first time you'd been on a plane?
Well, I've been to Disney World once or twice, so I don't think, no, it wasn't.
Okay.
But it had been a while since I had been on a plane, though. So I've forgotten, how bumpy it is. And my ear hurt at the end of it. When we went,
You're supposed to hold your nose and blow to pop your ears in flight.
I tried. I got off, and then my ear was hurting for like 10 minutes, and then it finally just stopped hurting.
Yeah, that's a trick. You hold your nose and you blow and pops your ears.
So Houston was cool.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about the event down there.
Well, so when we got there, since the first day there was no performances because we had just landed, it was all rehearsals. So we had a rehearsal from like 2 to 5. Then we had like a dinner break, and then we had another rehearsal till like 9 o'clock, and then we got to go back to our hotel. But then the next morning, we performed the opening of the whole conference, and that was Seasons of Love from Rent, and that went really well. Yeah, so, and also, that performance, after they spoke a bunch about the conference, to end that part of the conference, we sang Lean on Me.
Oh, one of my favorite songs that's from my years in high school. Yeah. Great song. Now, I understand, Pete, that we have another piece from Matthew?
Yeah, we can do the Seasons of Love. We'll just play it off the internet.
Then we'll do that. Well, this is Jay Pagluca. We're here with Matthew Bissell and his mom, Pam, here in studio. Matthew is an up-and-coming, talent, a vocal talent that we've had a lot of them here from Westfield. Well, we hope you take off and do some wonderful things. Here's Matthew Bissell.
Because of you, I found a place where I belong, where I've met lifelong friends, where I can be me.
Because of you, I have found a love for performing that is recognized in my club and in my community.
Because of you, I've learned to live, laugh, and love unconditionally. Because of you, we are here today.
How do you measure
WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. That's what you'll find on Ken's Den, Tuesdays from 8 till 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
And this is JPEG Luca. We're here in studio with Matthew Bassell and his mom, Pam. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
In that wonderful song, which is my favorite from that show, that's one of those solos, Was You. That high note was you in that song. That was amazing.
Thank you.
And I cannot wait to hear more of what you're doing. Now, you say you're working with the Exit 7 players. Mm-hmm. And that should be a fun show. Did you find out when that was running?
It's running it's running July 26th, 7th, and 8th, and August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And that's at the Exit
7 Theater in Ludlow on Chestnut Street.
Right off Exit 7.
Right off
of the
Exit
Turnpike.
7.
Yeah. That's a nice theater over there.
It is, and it's a great little group.
They work pretty closely with the Westfield Theater group as well. So I love the local collaborations of theaters. Mm-hmm. Community theaters are a wonderful place to grow and to learn. Now, what grade are you in?
4th.
And what school do you go to?
Highland Elementary School.
And do they have a theater there? Or a little?
They have a stage,
play?
but they don't do shows there. They have a chorus and a band, though.
Do you sing in the chorus?
Yes, and I'm also in the band.
What do you play?
I play the saxophone.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite style of sax playing? Do you have a favorite style of music?
Well, my favorite style of music is musical theater, but I like jazz.
Excellent. Well, it fits right in with the sax. Absolutely. Have you given thought? Here I am asking a fourth grader, right?
No, he has thoughts, though.
Yeah. Am I smarter than a fourth grader? No chance. So no chance at all. Where do you want to go from here?
Well, I made a whole list of what I want to be in till when I'm older. So, when I'm older, I want to be in Broadway. When I'm off Broadway, I want to find Atlantis.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Where are you going to start looking?
California, because I heard California, the people who live in California is actually Atlantis, and when it sinks, Atlantis will come again.
Okay. That's a good fantasy there.
It's a start.
But I love that.
It's a little crazy.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Am I smarter than a fourth grader? No chance. That's so cool. Yeah. So Broadway, what is it? Is it because of your listening and growing up with that music?
Yes.
Not the pop music, what you hear on the radio today doesn't...
It does not appease me.
Oh,
because I do not listen to it.
It's my fault.
Well, that's okay. You're going to be blaming your mom for a lot of things. I know it's I do. Fine. Right? No, it's all right. And you're right. It is all fun. That is absolutely incredibly wonderful. So today you're going to be leaving here, going back to school. Mm-hmm. And what's your favorite subjects in school, other than the music side of the things?
Well, we don't do history, but I really like history because I like just learning about everything that happened a long time ago. But for what we have, I think I'd say writing the most, or math. Math or writing.
Interesting. Now, history was one of those things that I never couldn't figure out.
I did not like
this is
history.
why do I want to know what happened yesterday? But now I'm fascinated by that. Is any particular part of history that jumps out and says, "Hey, I want to learn more"?
Well, I really like about like the presidents, like, or like, what is it called? Oh, when the Mayflower landed.
Okay.
Because over the summer, me and my grandma might go to, what is that plantation place called?
Plymouth.
Plymouth Plantation. That's
And see the rock?
yeah.
See, it's a big rock under a piece of glass, you know. But it's kind of like going to Poland Springs in Maine. I've seen that.
Oh, I've never been there.
Yeah, it's a little trickle of water behind glass. You can't touch it, you know. So we don't know if that's really where the water comes from, but that's the Poland,
That's
the
what they
original
say.
Poland Spring. No, but Plymouth is a beautiful place. That's I've actually done some work out there, and we're going to be doing a show there in the Plymouth Memorial Hall. Which beautiful auditorium. If you get to see a show there, that's kind of cool.
Really?
But we're doing a benefit for the local high school band.
Nice.
Like we've brought the Beatlemania
Yep.
show here. We're doing a Journey and a Journey and Foreigner a tribute band out
Wow,
there.
I love
called,
Journey.
Yeah, Foreign Journey, and that's another one that I'm trying to bring here.
To bring here.
Yeah, so we're not sure if we can make the dates work.
The
but,
Queen one works for us, though, right, Maddie? Yes.
You said you liked Queen.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first Queen song you heard? I remember mine.
Well, I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody before I knew it was from Queen. Or, no, We Will Rock You. Definitely We Will Rock
Really?
You.
Okay.
But then Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody jumped out at me the first time I heard it. And you're right, I didn't know who it was, but it was so different, so unique. And this was back in the 70s when it first came out. I'm going, who is that? What is that? And the first concert I saw of,
you saw a
Queen.
concert?
I saw Queen every time they toured the Northeast. I grew up just outside of Hartford, so they would whenever the tour of any band in the 70s, it would hit New Haven, Hartford, and Springfield, and I'd see all three. Of course, it's $6 a ticket; you could afford it.
Yeah.
But Queen, I saw many, many times. The first time I saw them was here in Springfield in the old Civic Center, and it was standing room only, and I was probably from here to those windows away from the stage.
Wow.
And they opened with Tie Your Mother Down. Play that if you've never heard it. That is a rockin' song.
Never heard it.
And all I heard was Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm thinking, well, this is going to be interesting, but all of a sudden, Tie Your Mother Down comes out, and I'm going, whoa, these guys rock. and that's when the light bulb goes off that these guys are going to be great.
Amazing. They're amazing.
So you mentioned I'm trying to bring them in, not Queen, but a Queen tribute band will be at the Women's Club come, I think it's February, but watch for the concert series at the Women's Club this
we're gonna love
this
that,
winter.
Matthew.
We'll make sure you get to come in and see a few of those shows.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. What else would you like if you had anything to say on the radio to all of your friends here in Greater Westfield? What would it be?
Hi.
And when we talked about school, and I know you've got to get back to school. Yeah. Do you really like school? Is it something that...
I like school. Sometimes. Like, what? Well, like, there's some days when you're really tired, and then you're like, I can't go to school today. But then you have to go to school today. And then you're like, ugh, school today. So, yeah.
It's the discipline, but you're learning that well. So I'll bet you got up and wanted to go to... I'm getting to get on a plane and go sing in Houston. That was a good thing.
He jumped right up today when I said, you have to get up and go on the radio. He's like, oh, okay.
Well, this will be, this is going to, I'll ask Pete, this is going to be on the recorded.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to replay this down the road and anytime you want. So I hope you get to see that. Now, video is stored as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we get there?
You go on YouTube and you look up wait a minute, hold on. I got to think, I got so many YouTube channels now. WSKB Community Radio. This will be in the community radio channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is Jay Pagluca. We've really enjoyed having Matthew Bissell here in studio. Thank you so much for coming out. Hope to have you back again, and maybe even before you become famous on a Broadway show. Are you familiar with the other people from Westfield who have been on Broadway?
Josh?
No. Oh, yeah,
The
Josh.
Burge brothers.
Josh and Nick Burge.
So you have some you have some people going before you. So the Westfield city of Westfield is known on Broadway, and you can raise your hand and say, "I'm from Westfield." And I certainly wish you all the best. I think you have a lot of talent and a lot of potential. Keep up the hard work.
Thank you.
What else do you have from Matthew?
Something called All the Best.
Oh, yeah. That one is when it was the final night of performances. There was 3 days in all, and for the conference, and I performed on the first day and the third day. I performed twice on the third day, and once on the first day. Twice on the first day. And this is one of my performances with another performer named Luke.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Bissell.
Feel sad or under a curse. Your life is bad. Your prospects are worse. Your wife is dying, crying, and your olive tree is dying. Bring it to the king and creditors when your purse, your mood and your are both a deep blue. You bet that Joe had nothing on you. Don't forget that when you get to be blessed. Yes, it's all for the best. Some men are born in the day, days riches and are in honey. Never growing old, never feeling cold, pulling pots of gold from thin air. The best in every town, best in chicken down, best in making mountains of money. They can't take it with them, but what do they care? They get the center of it, cushions on the seat, houses on the street where it's sunny. Summers at the sea, winters warm and free, all of this and we get the rest. But who is the land for the sun in the sand for? You guessed, it's all for the best. You know, I really think your mic's gonna work better for me. You know, yeah, sounds like it's working. Well, this one's better. Some men are sad, doing what they want, under a curse, are in honey. More life is bad, never feeling your prospects are from thin air. The sky is crying, and you're all money. They can't say with them, but what do when your birthday and your road are both in blue where it's sunny. You bet that show, and nothing on you. Get the rest, but when
for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
One of our underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Sound off, sound off, sound off for Chesterfield. Howdy folks, a big hello, we're here to start the Crosby Show. Before you do another thing, just take this tip from Brother B. Sound off for Chesterfield. Sound off for Chesterfield. Tie a pack to Chesterfields, do it today. Someone waits for me.
This is Ken Carpenter. Welcome you to the Bing Crosby Show for Chesterfield, produced and transcribed in Fort Ord, California, with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Collins of the Bears, and Bing's guests, Miss Monica Lewis and Mr. Bob Hope. And now, from the Army Training Center at Fort Ord, here is a man whose only worry about the draft is that he stiffens up when he stands in one, Bing Crosby.
Hey, just a minute there, Ken. You don't have to single me out as the only one who's wide open to an attack to rheumatism.
Yeah?
I want to tell you something, boy. Nearly everybody out here in sun-drenched California's turned a little blue lately. A little bit grizzly.
California certainly had a chilly winter.
But really, in this cold weather, Ken, I want to tell you, I've gone the full route in the underwear department.
You mean to say you're wearing long underwear?
In my set, we refer to them as blizzard bloomers.
That's funny. In our group, they're known as tummy ticklers.
Mine tickle all over.
Oh, do you itch?
They itch, I scratch.
I pass.
You pass.
You know, Bing, since you've been honest with me, I think there's a confession I should make.
Oh, Ken, you don't mean
Yes, Bing. I'm wearing longies, too.
Oh, well, it's too bad this isn't an air base here. We both could have landed with our flaps down.
Well, I know it must be awfully chilly where you're living over in Pebble Beach, isn't it?
Is it? Boy, Bob Hope is my house guest, you know, and every night we've been sleeping with 3 extra quilts on our bed.
On your bed?
Yeah.
Well, for goodness sake, why do you and Bob have to sleep in the same bed?
Kid's afraid to be alone in the dark, you know. I want to tell you something else, and this is really a fact.
What's
This is honest. Fellow walks in his sleep, you know, Hope.
Bob?
Yeah.
What makes him walk in his sleep?
Too cheap to take a taxi, I guess.
Well, that sleepwalking is dangerous.
Oh, honestly, I think he was just faking.
Think so?
Sure. He was carrying a lantern. And
Lantern?
Yeah. See, I live right there on the golf course, Ken. I think he was on a nocturnal hunt for lost golf balls. Pick up an old Dunlop out there.
Bob wouldn't do that.
I don't know. When he came back to bed, he felt awful lumpy. And another thing, Ken, I don't like to really condemn a fella before he's caught, you know, red-handed.
Shouldn't do that, no.
But I think I don't want this bruited around, but I think the only reason he came up to visit me is to nab the silverware and everything else that's loose around the house.
No, Bing, that's a pretty strong statement. You talk as though Bob were a regular burglar.
Well, all I know is he arrived at my place with 4 suitcases, 3 of them empty. What do you think?
What was in the 4th one?
A floor plan of my house. Also a flashlight, a blackjack, a Jimmy, and a Dick Tracy comic book. But I must be carefree. We've got to go on about the impending heist. Get on with the opening selection here, which, according to the paper, is a song called Undecided. John Scott, I'm ready if you are. First you say you do, and then you don't. And then you say you will, and then you won't. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? Now you want to play and then it's no. And when you say you stay, that's when you go. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? I've been sitting on a fence and it doesn't make much sense, 'cause you keep me in suspense and you know it. Then you promise to return. When you don't, I really burn. Well, I guess I'll never learn, and I show it. If you got a heart and if you're kind, then don't keep us apart, make up your mind. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do?
I've been sitting on a fence, and it doesn't make much sense, 'cause you keep me in suspense, and you know it. Bible advises up, and you promise to return. When you don't, I really burn. Well, I guess I'll never learn, and I show it.
If you've got a heart and if you're kind, don't keep us apart, make up your mind. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? 'Cause first you say you do, and then you say you don't, and then you say you will, and then you say you won't. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? The cigarette that's milder, tastes better, and leaves no unpleasant aftertaste, change to Chesterfields today. Yes, sir. Enjoy your smoking with Chesterfield Mildness Plus, no unpleasant aftertaste.
Chesterfield Mildness has been confirmed by 1,562 prominent tobacco growers. No unpleasant aftertaste has been confirmed by a world-famous research organization. They reported, of all brands tested, only Chesterfield leaves no unpleasant aftertaste.
Yep, Chesterfield Mildness Plus, no unpleasant aftertaste. That's smoking pleasure all the way. Try a pack of Chesterfields today, or even better, get a carton, as old Godfrey tells you to do. Enjoy your smoking and sound off for Chesterfields. Now, fellas, I'd like to have you all meet one of our loveliest young singing stars. Very beautiful, very talented, Monica Lewis. Monica, it's really nice that you could come up here tonight. What are you going to sing for us tonight, these strong, healthy young fellas, Monica?
Well, I thought I might do How Am I to Know from the new MGM picture, Pandora and the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, Pandora and the Flying Dutchman, huh? I wonder if he comes in with his flaps up or down. I must...
I don't know.
You don't know about that, huh?
No, but it stars James Mason and Ava Gardner.
Oh, fine. This is a lovely song. Let's have it, huh, Monica?
All right.
It's really love that found its way here.
哦。
be that love has come to stay, has come to stay.
That is real sweet, Monica. Wonderful, wonderful. Folks, I'm sure that you all read of the heroic efforts of Captain Carlson and the loss of the merchant ship, the Flying Enterprise. However, tonight, for this special occasion, we've had the Flying Enterprise raised and we towed it to Port Ord. And here it is now, Bob Hope.
Thank you, Captain Block.
Now, Mr. Christian, come down here.
Look who's calling me the Flying Enterprise. I've been towing you for years, Dad.
That's not me dragging behind you there.
And that's not a streetcar named Desire trailing you either.
I may say, though, candidly, it's a joy. It's really sheer heaven having you at Pebble Beach.
All that?
Yes.
And no money, isn't that so? Sheer heaven and no money.
Just to have you at Pebble Beach as my house guest.
Well, I may do all right on that deal.
You're telling me, you burglar.
What do you mean, burglar?
I looked in your suitcase. I found a gem in it.
It's just to get into the bathroom. I ran out of nickels.
Now, listen, I'm glad that you came up here to Fort Ord with me, Bob.
I am, too. But I want to tell you one thing, Lard. I'm still sore about the... I'm still sore about the trip up here. That's the last automobile trip I take with you.
Weren't you comfortable?
Comfortable?
Yeah.
How did I know there were going to be 7 of us in the front seat? What a sneak you are, putting an ad in the paper that said, wealthy philanthropist traveling north wants company on trip for laughs.
Well, what's wrong with that?
They charged us $20 a piece.
I'm still laughing.
And to think I had a reservation on the Continental Trailways bus.
Quit beefing. I bought your lunch on the way up here, didn't I?
Yeah, but I felt so silly sitting there with my pants rolled up so you'd only have to pay for a child's plate.
Well, after lunch, didn't I pick you up and burp you? Huh?
Yeah, but while you had me over your shoulder, you picked my pocket.
Yeah. Beautiful haul I got out of that. 2 Dewey buttons and a lock of Marjorie Maine's hair.
Please, there's some things a gentleman doesn't discuss.
Oh, pardon my gauche breche. I'm sorry here.
I don't have that.
Well, listen, let's talk about Fort Ord. You know that this is where the new inductees...
Gonzaga talk. Gauche breche.
Wait a minute. Say, this is where the new inductees here at Fort Ord go through basic training. They learn to face all the dangers, face all the hardships that they might experience under fire.
So that's why they brought your show up here.
No, that's why we got you as guest.
Well, you should.
It's even. Sounds like a dead heat, don't it?
But you know, they sure do draft the fellas in a hurry here. Did you see that one guy who's all bent over?
Yeah, what happened to him?
It's not far from the beach.
What?
Well, that's what it says here.
Wait a minute. Go back there. You skipped a page.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was pretty dull for a punchline.
What is that? Wait a minute.
Not far from the beach. Isn't that awful?
Wait, we're on page 50?
Oh, yeah.
Do one page at a time.
Okay. Let's try it again.
Try again?
Stick out your tongue so I can wet my thumb.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see now. You do that line about the guys being drafted.
Okay, I say, you know, they sure do draft the fellas in a hurry here. Did you see that one guy who's all bent over?
Yeah, what happened to him?
Well, he was a plumber and they drafted him before he could get out from under the sink he was fixing. It's not far from the beach. I think I like that better.
That sounds like the kind of a line you'd give me on your show.
At least I don't glue your pages together.
Well, drop in again. We'll glue you together.
You got the horses for it. But
wait now.
Keep looking, you'll find a beach in there somewhere. But listen, anyway, on the level thing, the Army can lead to a great career. Look at what General Eisenhower has done.
That's right. I understand if they draft him, he's going to run.
Some of the fellas here tried that, but they caught him and brought him back.
I should think the boys would love it here. After all, they have a chance to learn a trade. Why, just a while ago, I saw a fellow out behind the mess hall peeling potatoes.
Peeling potatoes? What kind of a trade is that?
Wonderful. He traded with the guy who was peeling onions. And, you know, recreation facilities are excellent, too. They have ping pong, shuffleboard, and if they feel like it, the fellas can go swimming in the surf.
It's not far from the beach. So that's where the line fits, you little rascal, you. I loved you the first time I said you. Yes, I did.
You really like that line.
I may adopt it. I think it needs a home. But I feel right at home here at Fort Ord. You know, I'm making a picture at Paramount called Military Policeman with Marilyn Maxwell.
Oh, what a nice area to police.
You're thinking right. You know, it's not often you find a Maxwell with a Cadillac body. But it's interesting making a picture about the MPs being. These guys are some, you know, these MPs are some of the roughest, toughest characters you'll ever meet.
Oh, well, that's bad. You're mistaken. That's bad casting. Why, as a group, the military policemen are the kindest, gentlest, most soft-spoken, obliging boys in the Army.
I guess I haven't met them all, huh?
No, MPs are different, Bob, than they used to be. Why, here at Fort Ord, MP stands for marvelously pleasant.
That's funny. I always thought it stood for muscles and poison.
No. Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong, Bob. See, I can prove it. I've got a little skit here that we've written. It shows that just how the military police at Fort Ord operate. And I got a gal here that's going to help us out with the skit, too. Monica, come on over here, will you?
Yes, Bing. What is it?
Well, look what he's been hiding in his duffel bag.
Don't you know Monica, Bob? She's going to
It's not far from the beach. Her coastline reminded me of that.
Settle down, down, more. Listen, she's going to help us with our sketch. Monica, this is Bob Hope.
Oh, I know Bob. I've seen him on television.
Brave girl.
I may do a TV show for the U.S. Rubber Company.
Well, that's fair enough. You've been wearing their girdles for years. You worked for them.
At least I don't make my own out of Scotch tape and never leak.
What about the sketch, boy?
Oh, yes, the sketch. Mm-hmm. Pardon us, Monica. Bob, you're going to play a part of a young rookie GI.
Yeah.
Monica is your girlfriend, and I'm a typical military policeman. Shall we then?
It's not far from the beach.
No.
I may want to drive.
Music, John.
We now take you to a secluded, wooded side road on the Monterey Peninsula. It's a beautiful, balmy evening, and the stars twinkle down upon a boy and a girl seated in a Jeep.
Isn't this a wonderful night, honey?
It sure is.
You know, all my life I've been saving my kisses for a girl just like you.
And tonight you'd like to lose your life savings, huh?
Yep, I want to shoot the works. Wowie!
Let go of me. What's the matter with you?
Long time no see.
Now behave yourself and read that comic book I brought you.
Okay, hold the flashlight. Golly, this is a thriller.
Shall I read it to you?
Yeah, just the printing. I'm good on pictures. Oh, boy. This is the biggest night of my life. Just think, a date with a Salinas girl.
It's a big night for me, too. Just think, a date with a volunteer lettuce picker.
But, Monica, really, I'm crazy about you. I really am. And I want to tell you that What's that, a critic?
That's supposed to be a motorcycle. We forgot to bring a sound man up there.
Boy, what a cheap show. How'd I get trapped?
Never mind that. Now, may I see your pass, soldier?
Golly, it's a military policeman.
Oh, please, Mr. MP, sir. Go easy on me. I know this racket, you know. Don't drag me off to the guardhouse. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm innocent.
Now, don't be afraid, my boy. I'm here to help you.
You are?
Of course.
Oh, then hold this girl. I want to kiss her.
Well, if you two want a neck, I better hop on my motorcycle and plunge off into the darkness.
It's not far to the beach. How'd that line get in there?
Now, young man, I don't want to be a pest or anything, but inasmuch as you're off the post and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I would like to know if you have a pass.
Pass?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Here's my pass.
Thank you. This is a pass from World War I.
Well, I am a little overdue.
Well, now, don't you let it worry your pretty little head.
I feel like a cad.
You know, I've never ridden on a motorcycle.
Oh, you haven't? Well, come on. I'll take you for a ride right now.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
No, don't interfere. Just hop right up here, miss.
Okay.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Goodbye, Bob.
Monica, come back. You mean everything to me. You can't leave me alone.
Why not?
Well, who's going to hold a flashlight for my comic book?
Monica and I and Bob have a little personalized version here of a current pop ditty. I think you might get a jar out of it. You ready, Monica?
Mm-hmm.
John Scott? Buddy Cole? Go.
Wish I was a bumblebee by heck. I wish I was a bumblebee by heck. If I was a bumblebee by heck, I'd buzz round Gregory Peck. I wish I was a bumblebee by heck.
Now, wait a minute. What do you want with Gregory Peck?
Yeah, what are we, chicken liver or something? What we do?
Do, but not with me.
Ay.
Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, I wanna be a bumblebee.
Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, a bumblebee is what she wants to be.
All right, Bob, it's your turn. Is there anything you'd like to be?
No, I'm content. After all, I'm charming, talented, lovable. Who could ask for anything more?
If I think you'll come up with something.
Okay, but I may have to press a little.
Come on.
I wish I was a lemon custard pie. I wish I was a lemon custard pie. If I was a lemon custard pie, I'd throw myself in Crosby's eye. I wish
That's very clever, Bob.
Did you like it?
Yes. Now I shall get even.
I'll take it easy, bud. You know my temper and my muscles.
Your muscles?
Sure, on a clear day, I'm often mistaken for Mr. America.
How well I wish I was a muscle man like you. I wish I was a muscle man like you. If I was a muscle man like you, I'd tear a Kleenex right in two. I wish I was a muscle man like you.
Now I've got one.
No, you've had yours. We got to go for the finish.
What a sneak.
Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, this is what we like to be.
Hi-ho, fiddly-dee.
Hi-ho, fiddly-dee.
Hi-ho, fiddly-dee,
That is what we think we'd like to be.
about joining in with me and Once Over Lightly on Sound Off?
Well, I thought you asked me over here to do something funny.
I did. Sing. Last night I saw my favorite spy.
You did? Well, how did you like it, guy?
I went and got my money back and spent it for my favorite back at Chesterfield.
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 Milder, 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 milder Chesterfield. That's right, you've seen my picture, I presume.
Oh, yes, you mean Here Comes the Gloom. The audience slept right through it all. To wake them up, I had to call Sound Off.
For Chesterfield.
Sound Off.
For Chesterfield. Try a pack at Chesterfield. Do it! Today! Friends, when you smoke Chesterfield, you're going with the very best. That Chesterfield Mildness Plus, no unpleasant aftertaste means smoke and pleasure all the way. So lay your money on the line for one that's got it all. Enjoy your smoking. Change to Chesterfield today. Right. John, go ahead. Just one more chance to prove it's you alone I care for. Each night I say a little prayer for. Just one more chance. Just one more night to taste those kisses that enchant me.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental.
Others if you'd grant me just one more chance. I've learned the meaning of repentance. Now you're the jury at my trial. I know that I should serve my sentence. Still I'm hoping all the while you'll give me just one more word. I said that I was glad to start out, but now I'm back to cry my heart out for just one more chance. I've learned the meaning of repentance. Now you're the jury at my trial. I know that I should serve my sentence. Still I'm hoping all the while you'll give me just one more word. I said that I was glad to start out, but now I'm back to cry my heart out for just one more chance. Represents the closer for this evening. Now my thanks to Monica Lewis, Bob Hope, and all those who joined us here at Fort Ord for this evening's show. We'd like to tell you folks listening that the soldiers here on this post contribute 2,000 pints of blood every month to the Red Cross.
Isn't that wonderful? And you know the boys here bought over $300,000 worth of bonds in the recent defense bond drive?
And this post has contributed over $50,000 to local charities.
Yes, sir. I want to tell you this is some outfit. Thanks also now to General McClure, Colonel Solomon, and the special services and all who've been so very nice to us here on our visit. Folks, we'll be back on the air next Wednesday, same time, but I sincerely hope you won't wait till then to try Chesterfields. Latch onto a pack or a carton right away. Enjoy your smoking. Change to Chesterfields today and get smoking pleasure all the way.
Show presented by Chesterfield was produced and transcribed at Port Ord, California by Bill Morrow and Murdo McKenzie. Tune in next week and hear Bing and his guest, Paul Douglas.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental.